Hello everyone, I am Lady Calamere and welcome to my channel. We have Shadow here. We haven't seen him in a long time in our videos. So this is going to be my 95th video, and it's going to be on the Sumerian god Nergal. In Babylon he's called Era, and we have a picture of him right here. And this, I have to give credit where credit is due. I always do that. I always believe in it. It's from the card from the Babylonian Tarot by Sandra Tabitha Cicero. So here we have Nergal. Who is he? And what was he about? Oh, this guy, he is pretty dark. Now, despite everything, he was originally a agricultural god. But, you know, as time change or the deities change and the stories change, but everyone knows Nergal now as a god of war. But he's much more than a god of war. I mean, there is so much to him. So, let's get on with this. Please bear with me. I do not use a script. I do not write down notes. So, before I do go on, I want to give a shout out to Braden Timmons. I have no connection to him. I don't even know the guy, but the guy does horror stuff, and he is making a Sally movie, which is going on to the Indiegogo, I believe, this Friday. So look him up, and I did say I will promote him because I don't have a Patreon account. You might as well promote him. So anyways, Nergal. He has many, many names. And like I said, he's known as Era, I-R-R-A, as well as E-R-R-A. He's also Nergal. Unugal. Mislanthia. And some say actually that is even an older name. He who comes from Mislanthia, where it's believed where we get the word Islam from. And no, he's not Allah. So now his parents, he is said to be the son of Enlil, who is the great god, and we have him as the son of Ninlil, who is also a goddess. Now some say he's actually the son of Elil, or as Elil or Anu, and Belit Eli. So his primary city of worship was Kutha, K-U-T-H-A. And Kutha just happened to have been a favorite burial area for many Babylonians. Let's get it. Isn't Shadow cute? He's gonna be 18 this year. Can you believe that? Anyways, one of the other things is he is a god of, he's pretty much a hot-headed god. He's a god of violence and of bloodshed. Nergal is his planetary aspects, okay, he has two. The sun, but not just the sun, everyday sun. We're talking about the noonday sun at noon, especially solar noon, and the summer solstice. Now, in some areas, the summer solstice is a very welcoming thing, but you gotta understand, in places of some ancient Sumer and even that place today, like in Iran and in Iraq, when it hits the summer solstice, the sun is quite unforgiving. The sun is quite hot and deadly. Okay, it's just so, the heat is so tremendous. So back in ancient times, when you didn't have AC, you didn't have any of the modern luxuries we have that we take for granted, they didn't have that. So yeah, it was pretty harsh. So the solar, at this time, the summer solstice was, and the summer sun was a thing of, in a way, fear in some ways, because it brought the hot winds of death. Basically, plagues came on the hot winds. So, and in fact, the hot desert wind was considered Nergal's breath. Now, the other planet he's associated with, and yeah, I know the sun is a star, but in astrology it's considered a planet. Now, the other one is Mars. And because of that, he has been compared with Ninurta. And I know a lot more about Nergal than I do about Ninurta. I'm not saying I don't know about him. It's just I'm more familiar with Lord Nergal. Now, he's also a god of the Underworld, and even its king. Now, many believe that Ereshkigal totally owns the Underworld. But when Nergal is there, he is also its lord. For me, I'm more closer to Ereshkigal, and I feel that she is the great queen of the Underworld. In fact, you know, you can look at if you want to learn more about Ereshkigal and the relationship of Ereshkigal and Nergal, please check out my presentation on YouTube on this channel for Ereshkigal. Whew. Really feeling cold after talking about her. I love her. Now, Nergal is a god of necromancy. So, in fact, in ancient times, in many of the myths of contacting the dead and communing with the spirits of the dead were scribed in myths of the great god Nergal. So he has also been used as not just necromancy, but the knowledge of the black arts. He's also used in cursing and hexing your enemy, whether they're pretty much deserving or not. Some gods are like, yeah, I'm not going to do this because this person's not really deserving, or, you know, certain energies are just not going to do that. Well, he will. He will. As for me, I'm not into cursing people who don't deserve it. I mean, if I hex you, damn, you know that this person was like, damn, that person deserved it. But Nergal can be used by people who, you know what, this person looked at me wrong. Go get him, Nergal. So yeah, he can be used that way. Now another name that he, like when I say, okay, when I said Nergal is the Lord of the Great Place, and that's his epithet for when they say great place, the biggest place was the land of the dead. So he is the Lord of the land of the dead, the Lord of the great place. So Unu Gal, almost like Una, but Unu. Nerunungal. Nerunungal. He was also referred to as Lugal Banda. Now that means powerful king. Banda means powerful, and Lugal king. So it's Lugal Banda. So he is the god of the desert heat, the furious sun. S-U-N. He is the god of fury. I thought I had my tablet here so I could show you a picture of him. A better picture, and I guess I don't have my tablet. Oh well. Anyways. So he is a god that deals with plagues. And in modern day, we could say what plagues are around us. We could say HIV, AIDS, the COVID. We could say the flu is like a plague. So all the plagues would be under this god's domain. He's a god of war, battles. He's just the god of war. We can say like the Vietnam War. Unfortunately, what's going on with what Russia's doing to Ukraine. Stay strong, my Ukrainian friends. Stay strong. And to my friends in Russia, fight the power. You know? But I don't have any friends in Ukraine or Russia, but I'd like to say I'd like to be friends. Okay, enough with political, because this is not about politics. So Nergal deals with destruction. Now when I talk about destruction, he can bring down buildings in a single bound. It says that he can just take his sword and slash buildings down and watch them topple and make the earth quake and shudder at his appearance. Oh, what does that sound like in modern day? Okay, within seconds, say within if you have something like 5 seconds or 10 seconds, what can bring down buildings and make the earth quake? Earthquake, when the plates shift. So, yeah, and it could be devastating. Even a 5-second one can be very devastating. When you talk about a 10-second quake, even that can be very devastating. That could take lives. So he brings down buildings with the greatest of ease. Another thing is he causes pests. Locusts, for instance. He causes a pestilence. And that could be rats that bring a plague. He can cause starvation. He can with his pestilence, destroy the crops, thereby bringing hunger and starvation and death through that way. Because he is also a god of death. And his death is not that natural. They say, it's like supernatural, but his death, basically, he cuts life short through war. He is the god of the battle cry. says that he assists the king and conquering nations. So he's the god of fight. He's a god of quarreling. He is the burning power and the conquering spirits. Some people did love him, but there was also people worshipped him out of fear and to beg him to stop. Or if he figured if he caused a plague, he can heal the plague. So he is a god of turmoil and strife. He loses his temper. He has a short temper. He's the type of god who doesn't play well with others. You know how people wear shirt, I don't play well with others? That's him. But he's also used as a protective deity. And he can be used to protect his people, but when he gets mad, he can destroy. And it even told the gods when he gets mad, he smashes things. He goes through this tantrum of just breaking and smashing. He is the husband of Ereshkigal. That was later on in later myths where he becomes the husband of Ereshkigal through her it was her anger that brought him down to the underworld. But I think it was also a ploy by Enki to get him out because he was causing too much trouble. So it says for 6 months he's in the underworld, and in 6 months he comes out of the underworld, and this is a time of war, fury, death, destruction, plagues. So for 6 months 6 months he goes to the underworld, 6 months he rises. Now, his animals, definitely the lion. Sometimes he's even seen as a man with a lion's head. He has a mace that he holds, and it has a double-headed lion on it. Nergal is also said even in the Bible, Old Testament, to be, and he's listed there, that he is the dunghill rooster. So roosters have been associated with him. And the other animal is the bull, especially the raging bull. So this god, even his weapons, if he doesn't go to war, his weapons complain that they haven't been used and they haven't drank any blood. In one of his they found art and statues of him, and he's a man wearing these long robes, and underneath one foot he's crushing a man. So it shows that he can crush civilization, crush humanity. There are times in some stories where he was grateful that he didn't destroy all of humanity, that actually he was stopped. So he's presented in iconography, like I said, striding a man, and he's wearing long robes, or he's advancing a foot, where he's literally walking on top of someone. He holds a mace, like I said. It's double with it's a double lion's head on it. He also carries a scimitar. Now, in his animals, especially the bull and the lion, are two animals which are represented with tremendous natural but also supernatural power in Mesopotamia, ancient Mesopotamia. Now, he was frequently invoked for protection, even though he's a destructive deity. Yeah, the dunghill cock, that's what I was thinking, but it's a rooster. So he's actually, like when I said he's mentioned in the Bible, so in the Bible, 2 kings, his name is interpreted as the dunghill cock. Also his various other, he's mentioned here and there. I don't know how many times. I definitely know 2 kings. If you want to look that up, I think line 17, I can't remember, 17, but it's there in the line of 17. Could be 20 or line 17, 20 or 25. I think maybe 30, 1730. Probably 1730, 2 kings. I know later on in like in medieval demonology, he was demoted and said, "Oh yeah, he is a demon, but he's a spy of Beelzebub." That, well, this wasn't a god. Uh, you know, he wasn't even a king of gods. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. So Nergal, his time is definitely noon. His special day, is summer solstice. So he's actually appears in the fantasy series Conan the Barbarian. Of course, his element was definitely fire. He is a fiery god after all. So he causes disasters. He's a violent deity that delights and is happy with carnage, especially when he gets bored or when he is in a bad mood. So it is said that Nergal does do magic, and it is said that he knows cures to every illness he controls. Sometimes, if people pray to him, he could spare them. So, like I said, based on medieval lore, Nergal is to be the chief of Hell's secret police, or the secret KGB police, and Beelzebub's spy. Colors I definitely like to associate with him are fiery colors, reds, yellows, and also I got this black altar, and we got shadows sitting on the goat of Mendes. So I got this as some eye candy here. shadow is going to be your guide for today. So there were quite a few temples back then to him. He was a popular god, but also feared. So there actually is a story of what he did to Marduk, because he had his wrathful eye. Nergal has his wrathful eye on Babylon, and it's more like era at this point, but I'm calling this presentation Nergal, so bear with me. So he knew he could not beat Marduk. Marduk was protecting Babylon, and he was just scheming of ways to do it. And he's a schemer, because Nergal is also an agent of chaos. He is chaos. He is the change to order. Like the Joker, I am the agent of chaos. So he thinks of a way. And yes, I am a Joker fan. Just like the Joker, he thinks of a way, and it says that he does some magic, and then he goes to Marduk, and he sees Marduk, and he goes, "Oh, hi, old friend, how you doing?" He goes, "Oh, I'm doing good. Looks like you're doing good with this city." He goes, "I sure am. You know, you're doing such a great job, Marduk." "Oh, I know I am, but you look tired." And he goes, "Yeah, you should use a rest, maybe some vacation. Look at your clothes. You look like a peasant. You need to get new clothes." And he goes, "Yeah, but I'm busy protecting the city, Nergal. You know, this is my job." "You know what? Maybe I can protect the city in your place." Marduk said, "You would do that for me?" Nergal is like, "Sure, old pal, old buddy. I'll take care of the city real good for you." And he goes, "You promise?" "Oh, I sure do promise." So Marduk leaves. And when Marduk leaves, why, Nergal is like, "I'm going to take care of this city, because this city deserves a new type of criminal." Okay, I'm using a little bit of the Joker. And of course, what does he do? He slays, he kills, he brings down buildings with with the greatest of ease, and his weapons are happy because his weapons were complaining that they haven't seen action, and he's like dancing and singing as the city falls down and people are being crushed and killed, and violence and kaboom, bang, boom. And well, Marduk comes back and is like, "What the fuck did you do?" "I took care of the city." Well, he was brought pretty much onto a tribunal, and he was asked, "Why did you do this?" And he goes, "Why? Because when I get angry, I smash things." But what are the gods to do? He was, Babylon got fucked, and, people had to pick up the pieces. Marduk wasn't too happy with the behavior, but hey. So there's another story about him, and I discussed this between the marriage between Ereshkigal and Nergal. So the story shows as Enki, who is the god of wisdom, and he was responsible for for creating humanity. He did manipulate events to minimize Nergal's destruction. Basically, send him to to Ereshkigal. We got to do something. So the gods, with Enki's help and suggestion, prepared a great banquet to which everyone was invited. But Ereshkigal could not attend, or would not attend, because she was considered unclean. She was, since she was a young age, she was brought to the Underworld. So she has to send her visor Namtar, her son, and Namtar means fate. And you see where this is going. Fate, right, is involved. So they say that she can have her fill, but Namtar has to collect. Now, when Namtar arrives to the place of the gods, all the gods bow before Namtar, except for one young god, and Nergal is young. He's not kid, but he's youthful man. Very handsome man, but youthful. He refused. He says, I will not bow to someone's visor. If she wants me to and want bow, then she can come over here. And he was just disrespectful and rude. Well, Namtar goes and complains to Ereshkigal, his mom. Mom, guess what happened? Well, Ereshkigal was rightfully pissed. She drew herself from her throne. She pulled her hair out. She was like, how dare he? And with her anger and with the power that she has, she demanded that Nergal be sent punished to her. So there's different variations of how this happened, but Nergal was instructed by Enki to collect three different woods to make a chair, his own throne. He was told when he goes there to the underworld, do not eat what the butcher gives you, do not eat bread what the baker gives you, do not sit on any chair that's given to you, do not accept any foot baths, and definitely do not have sex. Do not be tempted. So, Nergal goes to the underworld and he goes through each of the 7 gates. And it says that in some stories he has assistants to help him keep the gates open. And he was expecting to see a nasty old hag. But first he was offered food he did not eat. He did not eat the bread. He did not eat the butcher's meat. He did not drink any water. He had his own chair, so he was good. He didn't need to sit down. He did not accept a foot bath. So he finally meets Ereshkigal, thinks she's going to be some ugly old hag. Oh, she was absolutely beautiful. And she kept tempting him. Finally, she decided, take her clothes off for a bath. And, of course, Nergal fell for it. He had sex with her. And they describe it as Queen Ereshkigal and Nergal. Notice how they say her name first. Queen Ereshkigal and Nergal. Not Queen Ereshkigal, King Nergal. Not Nergal and Queen Ereshkigal, but Queen Ereshkigal and Nergal. For day 1, day 2, for like 6 days they had sex. But on the 7th, it either lets her know that he's going to be leave, but he'll come back, or that he sneaks out when she's sleeping. Either way, she's decided she's in love head over heels for this beautiful young god, this handsome god, this ruggish rogue god. She's in love, and she told all her assistants to clean up this area, this cave, and we're gonna have wedding bells. So none of her attendants dare tell Ereshkigal that Nergal left. So she's there getting ready, busying herself, making her a beautiful bride for her wonderful soon-to-be husband. Well, he was nowhere to be seen. He escapes. He goes through the gates and gets out. When she was notified that he skipped out, especially on wedding day, Ereshkigal moaned and cried. She threw herself from her throne and pounded the floor and said, this is unfair. And she told Namtar to tell the gods that as a child, she has been put in this position to be, the queen of the dead. And she talked about how her husband died and how, she's this and that. And that as a final result, if they don't bring back Namtor, oh, she's just gonna release the army of dead, all the dead, and they will come back as soulless. They pretty much will come back as zombies and eat everyone. Sort of like The Walking Dead. Anyone Walking Dead fans? Live Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead. Well, just like zombies to eat everybody. The gods didn't want to call her bluff, so Namtor was sent to look for him, and he was told to look at the gods. He couldn't find him, but he did see one suspicious god. Of course, eventually he told his mom, and his mom said, you know, she said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to destroy everything. Eventually, Nergal was forced to come back, and there's different versions. There's a patriarchal version of this, but there's a version that is older. Morhe comes back and he grabs her by the tresses and kisses her. Others stories say that she pretty much threatened to kill her, and she begged, "Don't cut my head off," and he took her throne and became the ruler of the hell, and sort of like almost dethroning in the way of Ereshkigal. But however, that's not quite clear on it because Ereshkigal is still considered the queen of the dead. So anyways, when he's there, he helps, well, he co-rules the dead. It says he doesn't really help the dead, but not as much as other gods of the dead would. But there are places, there are like, these were all like written in Coptic on clay tablets. Some of them have been eroded or broken. So at the end, we would hope that we believe that Ereshkigal and Ereshkigal loves him, and they're happy. Because Ereshkigal likes a strong, handsome stud. And Nergal is a strong, handsome stud, right? Right. So, he was known in the Hittites, Aplu. It almost sounds like Anpu, but it's Aplu, A-P-L-U. So he's quite frequently referenced or written about toward the end of the reign of the Hittite king, and this Hittite king is I can't pronounce his name right. I never could. It's Supilu Soupy. I call him Soupy, but okay. This is how you spell his name. I should have wrote this down. Suppiluliuma, the first. And I do know that he reigned around from 1300s BCE. I think that he reigned 13. Oh, I don't want to steal you wrong. I know it's the 1300s BCE. So, yeah, I did pay attention in high school. So, what was it? I was taught about it also in I think 6th grade. We had to learn about Sumer. But Nergal was held responsible for the plague at that time, which swept the region from the lands of the Hittites to Egypt, even causing King Suppi, Suppiluliuma, to die. Suppi the first to die. So there would be prayers and for the plague to stop, but it went unheeded. So Nergal wanted a great, great, great death toll. So yeah, Nergal definitely red and the solar colors like you see in the card, but people use red, sometimes black, but red and fiery colors. And he is associated with the forces of chaos. So in a Judeo Christian vision, he is Nergal would be considered God's adversary, the adversary of Jesus, the adversary of Christianity, the adversary of all that is good, blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. That's so bad. I know I'm bad today. So Nergal, he can help you, but know that he is hot-headed, like my cup. I'm drinking welcome. Camp Crystal Lake. Yes, I'm a horror fan. So he is a god of force. He's forceful. He's pushy. He is very willful. This appeals to people. It really does. I mean, I like him. You know, I mean, but you gotta understand, Nergal can be a hard pill to swallow. I mean, I'm more of a Resh Kigal person. So, if I had to pick, but I don't hate him. You know, I respect him. Let's just say I give him a great dose of respect. So, one of the titles to Nergal is the glowing flame. Now, some Satanists, those who are theistic, and those of the left-hand path, see it akin to the black glowing flame. You ever see Baphomet statues with the flame above the Baphomet? I do have a Baphomet statue. But look at the flame. That would represent the flame of self-illumination or consciousness. More free will and to self-realization. The flame that, oh, I'm not gonna get into that, but this flame of knowing that you are a god or goddess. Now, he also holds the title of Mustabaru, also Mutanu, which means the death spreader. But that's also a Babylonian title of Mars. So that's one of the titles that is associated with Nergal, Mustabaru. Or Mutanu, which is Mustabaru Mutano, means the death spreader. So it could be the whole word Mustabaru Mutano or just Mustabaru. Either way, it's the death spreader. Now there is interesting that in canon, Nergal was Sharapu, the burner. So in ancient canon, among the Canaanites, Sharapu. And he scorched the earth. He was like an earth scorcher. So what can scorch the earth in a matter of minutes? Oh, nuclear bomb. That would, the mushroom cloud of a nuclear weapon would definitely be like seen as Nergal with a hot wave of heat. Now the title of Sharapu was also used in describing or devising the fire serpents called the seraphim. Seraphim was utilized in early Judeo-Christianity. Just interesting connections. I like to connect the dots. That's what I like to do. So, what will we offer Nergal? What can we offer Nergal? Nergal definitely could be offered weapons of war. Gunpowder. Potassium nitrate. Meats. Incense, fire, red candles, even red and black flame. You can give them anything dealing with solar energy. So if you're a vegetarian, vegan, and don't want to handle meats, I know some people will not handle meats at all, then I would, if you can, give them your own blood a little bit, if you want. I mean, some people with Nergal, some people have no problem doing it with it. Some people, you know. But you give them dragon's blood resin, the liquid tincture. A good substitute for your own blood is using, look up my dragon's blood presentation. Use a little bit of dragon's blood and mix a little bit of your saliva. That has good, that can, in some cases, take place of blood. I mean, it has your essence and everything. I mean, it smells, it looks like blood. I mean, it's really good. I've used that if you don't want to use blood. And I respect it. If you don't want to use blood, that's fine. Any solar fruits you can give them. But you can't go wrong with chocolate. I give a lot of my deities, I just buy chocolate or dried. You can buy sun-dried fruits, like raisins. You know, anything that's dried, especially anything that's dried by the sun. Some of them are non-traditional, like sun-dried tomatoes. I've never given them a sun-dried tomato, but hey, I've given a lot of my gods raisins and stuff and dried cranberries. And it's dried, you know, that's what he does. He dries things out. He is a great lord of power. Oh, alcohol. Why not? Some beer, bread. I mean, it's bread is baked by the heat, right? The heat of the oven. So, like, you can go and say, oh, I'll give them cake, I'll give them pies. Hey, if Nergal accepts cake from you, then hey, we might just say no. You know, as long as it works. I mean, some deities don't like certain foods, and I'll just come out and right and say it. You know, but some spicy meals. He's a spicy god. I've heard of people giving him hot peppers, you know, or hot chili peppers. Now, interesting enough, Era's name or Nergal's name was invoked in prayers to prevent hazards that were identified with him too. He's definitely a god of warriors. soldiers. So anyone serving in the military, especially people on deployment, or if they have to go into war zones, can ask him for help. Now, another thing, Era is sometimes called the Lord of Justice. It could be harsh justice. God of necessity. Even the Lord of limits, or the God of limits. He is seen as a harsh, cruel force, but also indispensable force. So he is that of those, like I said, the warrior, the soldier, the Marine, you know, the Navy, our Navy SEALs, SAS in England, you know. So he's bravery, fearlessness. He's a god of straight up determination, strength. He's a god of power. And he does not hesitate to mete out punishment. He's also his other weapons, and I'm looking at it right at it, is the bow and arrow, too. It's right in front of me. So even Native Americans, the dog soldiers, definitely is. War chiefs, you know, can be represented by him. So anyone in the military, past, you know, present, future, I'm not trying to, like, you know, say, oh, you know, Nergal is for the Native American. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he represents the force of the warrior. So please, I'm not trying to, like, push one culture on another. That is not my intention. I do not do that. I'm just saying in general, you know, you know, the ancient warrior to the futuristic warrior. He could be volatile, so, and also reckless in some ways what he does. What else is there about Nergal that I want to cover? Because we're already in 52 minutes into this presentation, and I know I just would just talk and talk and talk, and if I had my way, it'd be like 3 hours later and we're still talking about Nergal, which I have to, like, cap it. When I used to do presentations in person, they can last about 3 to 4 hours. Anywhere from 2.5 to 4 hours. I think Nergal was involved with Gods of War in the video games. Now, another thing that he was associated, Nergal was said to help control, or to control, the evil forces, most notably the Ilu Sebetu, or the seven gods. So so that's something interesting I almost forgot to bring up. So he is also said to be a Semitic god as well. So I know that in Babylonian canon, Sumerian. Now, he had other lovers before Ereshkigal. Some of them include Las, Las. She's a little known goddess with non-Sumerian origin. There was, he had sexual relations with Inanna's visor, Ninshubar. Ninshuber. Admu, who was a West Semitic goddess. Then there was a goddess, Mamitum. She was also called Mama, M-A-M-M-A, and M-A-M-M-I. But the last one and final gal was Ereshkigal, whom he was married to, who he stayed 6 months in Nergal, the land of the dead, or the land of no return, which he returns. I shall return. So anyways, thank you for watching. There's so much to learn about this god. But if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, please give me a thumb down. I would like to hear your experiences on the comments. Right, Shadow? We sure would like to hear about it. He doesn't want to hear it. I do, though. He's shaking his head. Nah, not really. But no, I do. I do. Don't listen to Shadow. He's got an attitude problem. He's just grouchy old Shadow. No, he's a cat, so what do you expect? Anyways, I do want to mention, if you like my video, I do not have a Patreon account, but I got his name written down, Braden Timmons, B-R-A-D-E-N, last name T-I-M-M-O-N-S. He is raising money to do a horror movie that he puts on YouTube, and that he actually, you know, he puts them in hard copies and sells them. He made Haddonfield Nightmare, which is supposed to take after, takes after H2O with that Michael Myers. I think it was pretty damn good for being a fan film, and it's really good. I mean, it's good. It's pretty good. You know, I'm not about to critique it right now. That's not the time or place, but I do recommend it. I watched it several times. Brought some friends over. They liked it. He's going to make Sally movie. He's raising about $5,000 or something like that. I'm not saying give him thousands of dollars. If you want, go ahead. But the money he would pay me, check him out. Go to his Indiegogo thing. He's on YouTube. So, and he's also going to be raising money for, you know, Haddonfield Nightmare Part 2. Hey, Shadow, come back up. But other than that, please take care of yourself and take care of each other. Love our furry friends. And as always, but first, before I let you go, please share this video with your friends and family and Facebook group. And thank you so much for the subscriptions. I'm up to 110 subscribers. Thank you so much. Tells me I'm doing a good job. And as always, blessed be.